The Cody Co situation is crazy. I have no idea who he is.
Cody Co is a YouTuber that probably doesn't need an introduction. I don't need to read the Wikipedia article explaining to you who he is and lore dumping. I'm sure most of you are at least loosely familiar with his content. He's been
Not at all.
Very large on the platform for years now. And recently, some disturbing allegations have come out against him. Now, the allegations against...
Disturbing allegations. I'm gonna assume it's... when people say disturbing allegations, typically it's the Dr. Disrespect stuff.
Against him aren't exactly brand new. They're not, fresh off the battle bus, hot drop in here out of nowhere. They've actually existed for a little while now, but never actually received a lot of coverage or a lot of attention. Kind of just been sidelined with people not knowing about it or not talking about it until yesterday when another YouTuber named D'Angelo Wallace gave some amazing coverage breaking down the entire situation here and going over everything that Cody Co is accused of.
Someone has been alleging for years now that you, one of the largest commentary creators on YouTube, knowingly committed a crime against her when she was a minor. But YouTubers and viewers...
Hey, every time they say it like that, it's typically one thing. It is what it is.
alike are ignoring and discrediting these allegations solely because the person making them happens to be an unlikable woman online, Tana Mojo.
Yikes. Yeah, that's some pretty awful shit right there. That's a huge allegation.
Wait. I have heard about Tana Mongo being in a relationship when she was 17 or 16 with another dude. Huh.
That actually has a lot of evidence backing it up, which D'Angelo Wallace covers in great detail in this video. It's not some imaginary nothing burger that someone squeaked out between their butt cheeks to...
Of course it is. Listen, I'm gonna give you the quick rundown of the world. If a man ever does anything to a below 18, that's always bad. There are no exceptions. There are literally no ways that it can be forgiven. If she looks young, ask for the documentation or something like that. Okay, or if you don't or you don't think it's true, or you think they are looking too young, just don't in general. That's how simple it is. But when when an adult woman does something to a man who's beyond 18, that is, each case is special. Okay, because men are not the same as a woman. Again, when we were 12 and 13 in school, grade school that was, or whatever, it's up to the 6th grade, we were looking and drooling over our teachers back in the day, okay? And we wanted it. Where was this when I was a kid is a real thing for men, okay? Maybe it doesn't always end well, but still.
To try and ruin Cody Co. It's a serious...
We are not the same and never will be the same.
Accusation that appears to have a lot of evidence about it.
I'm not here to accuse you of committing a crime in this video because I can't do that based on someone else's allegations. Nobody can definitively take these allegations as proof, but at the same time, they should still be looked at and not treated as an open secret and swept under the rug like you've been doing for so many years now.
I think that's a great point. Even though these are still allegations with nothing that's been proven, since there is so much supporting evidence around the claims, it definitely is something that needs to be examined thoroughly because it is a huge deal.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And speaking of this podcast, about a month ago, she hosted a live episode in front of an audience, and the conversation turned to you.
Who's the smallest you've ever had sex with?
Oh my god, no one look at me, Cody Co. I can say that. I was literally 17, I can say that.
This clip started making the rounds, and people were understandably...
Okay, bruh, this is where all the absolute losers come out and say, but 17 is almost 18, it's fine, what's the big deal? Oh my god, 18, we need to keep that thing, we need to keep it at 18. 17, oh, it's almost 18 is not an excuse. Listen, that's a problem. Okay, because the world is a slippery slope in general. The moment we start thinking, oh, 17 is not a big deal, it's 18, is the same day when 16 is also okay, but because it's almost 17, and when 15 is okay because it's almost 16, and when 14 is okay because it's almost 15. Now, anything under 18 is 100% without question a problem, and should be reported to police if a man does it. A woman, again, we need to check every case by case basis.
perturbed because if Tana Mojo was 17, you would have been 25. So people started speculating and Tana decided to set the record straight.
I hooked up with Cody when I was 17 and he was 25.
I'm going to go ahead and break down these numbers
The worst part about Tana Monjo is the fact that she's not even that hot. Honestly, she's just not even that hot.
here because it seems like people are starting to struggle with math, like teriology starting to pop off with 1 × 1 = 2 and all of that. I'm just going to go ahead and explain this. 17 is less than 18. Thus, that is below the age of consent and is a crime. And I already have seen comments on this situation about 17, who gives a fuck? That's basic.
Exactly. There's always like, oh yeah, it's not a big deal, bro. Shut the fuck up.
18 anyway, and it's the same dog shit, brain dead, concerning mentality, like your hard drive needs to be investigated type shit that we saw with Dr. Disrespect, where they're like, no one should really care that Dr. Disrespect was talking inappropriately with a 17-year-old.
Yeah, we don't even know if it was a 17-year-old, by the way. As far as I have seen, he hasn't stated it. No one has said it at 17, 16, 13, 12, or whatever. We don't know the age.
Even though, once again, you absolute fucking Cro-Magnon, there is no evidence that Dr. Disrespect ever talked to a 17-year-old. Not even he said that. It has only ever been stated as a minor. Everyone around...
Yeah, I talked about this when the Dr. Disrespect thing happened. If she was 17, he would say it. He would come out and say it at some point to soften the blow.
Dr. Disrespect never...
Because at that point, I mean, he doesn't have anything to lose. It's about time he starts to lie because his career is over.
Mentioned 17. It's actual delusional Fantasyland Narnia type shit where people are trying to defend him by saying it was actually a 17-year-old, 364 days old, which is absolute fucking barnacles. Like,
nanosecond until 18, by the way.
That's a load of fish paste. And even still, it's bad. I don't know how we've devolved so much where all of a sudden 17 is now something people try and justify. So like in this case,
bro, wait until the moment that Moist Critical finds out that every single year in the American House of Congress, Commons, or whatever they call that shithole, Democrats are trying to push for some kind of legislation that makes 18, lowered. Wait until that moment sinks in.
Case right here, you'll have some drooling, stinky, bumbling morons in the comments saying how it's not a big deal because 17 shouldn't be an issue. Like, age of consent over in this region is actually 16, so really, he waited till...
Bro, no one considers it 16. Someone actually commented, but your country considers it 16. I'm like, that can't be true. I Google my... Hey, it's true! I don't think anyone knows in my country that it's not 18 in that case. Because no one has ever said, no, everyone thinks it's 18. If someone looks in the direction of someone below 18, there's instantaneously people saying she's not 18. No one even knows this. Dude, everyone should just default make it 18 and there we go. It's done. Because even places that have it at 16 don't actually enforce... don't even care about it, and for everyone it's still 18. I think there is some kind of law that makes it that 16 is fine if there was the year gap thing. The year gap thing is when, for example, the difference is 2 years, but the difference is 14 and 16, and you are still in a relationship, and then at one point you are 18 but the other person is 16. There are some laws for that, but still there are exceptions.
Well, she was old. Like, it's craziness. It's actually craziness. It is a crime. It is a minor. Still,
no
it's
exceptions.
Bad. Like, I don't know why that needs to be explained all of a sudden. Now, something D'Angelo Wallace does make a point of here is pointing out that Tana Mojo is not well liked. I'm sure if you've been on YouTube for any length of time, you've heard her name.
I mean, I don't like Tana Mojo, but at the same time, it's still not an excuse.
Seen a lot of less than stellar things about her. She has a history of lying and putting on a lot of bad stuff and bad behavior. However, when it comes to this claim, this doesn't appear to be something.
By the way, I don't actually know who Tana Mongo is. I just know her reputation precedes her to such an unimaginable degree. It's like that. There's no way at least half of it's not true, and if half of it is true, and that's super bad.
That she's just lying about for clout to try and elevate her platform on the back of Cody Ko's good name or anything like that. This is a story that's been told even a few years in the past about this situation here. So this isn't something that she just pulled out of thin air. This is actually an allegation that has existed for a long time that is only just now starting to surface.
She claims that not only were you fully aware of her age at the time, but someone even tried to stop you and you went ahead anyway.
There was a situation with
Damn.
Gabby Hanna at a playlist live where she pulled him aside and told him like, yo, she's 17. And then we still went and hooked up.
To be clear, 17 is under the age of consent in many states, including Florida, where playlist live used to take place. So this means that Tana Mojo is accusing you of statutory rape, and she's not trying to hide that.
This isn't just some crazy tea. It was a crime.
Remember how Tana said that fellow YouTuber Gabby Hanna tried to stop you before everything allegedly went down? Well, did you know that Gabby is actually on record telling the exact same story several years ago?
One time, I told a guy, I saw him making out with a girl at a party who was underage, and I pulled him aside and I was like, hey man, you probably don't know, I know she like looks a little older, she's underage. Watch it. And he's like, oh my God, thank you for telling me. And then
Thank you for telling me. Obviously. Listen, there's no such thing as I did not know that she's not underage. Okay, listen, I'm gonna just tell you right now. It is what it is. This is the reality. There's no such thing as a man not suspecting that she's not underage. Okay, you always can look and you can instantaneously tell. Yeah, this is something where I should probably ask for a passport or some kind of documentation. Otherwise, this is risky. There's no such thing as a man not knowing that she's probably not 18. There is no such thing. You always have a suspicion. You always have a hunch.
This is really, really bad.
Really, really bad indeed. Pardon my potty mouth here, but this is fucking disgusting. Like, this is by far the most compelling piece of evidence presented because this is a completely separate third-party individual coming forward now with the same story years ago. Exactly how Tana described it. Finding this clip was huge. I don't even know how it was unearthed. Huge props for finding this ancient artifact because apparently it had been scrubbed from like everywhere. I don't even know how you would have even gone about finding something like this, but I really think it is an important piece to this story. It's a very strong piece of evidence, and it should hopefully showcase that this isn't just something.
I mean, you don't have explicit proof currently that it happened. Oh, but this is definitely enough to make me say guilty. Definitely.
Tana is making up on the spot for attention or anything like that. This is something that has been talked about for years. There's a lot of comments that get shown in the video with people shitting on Tana for bringing this up, like, oh, this is prehistoric. Why would you ever bring this up now? You just want to.
I mean, if it's prehistoric, it's still there. Something happening like, a couple of years ago, but still being bad doesn't make it good all of a sudden. Why people have such a hard time understanding this?
Attention, you absolute harpy.
Oh, I know, because people who are fans of someone named Cody Ko, who does vlogging or whatever, probably don't have an IQ in the triple digits.
Oh, who cares? This is bullshit. It's all a lie anyway. All you do is lie. Liar, plants for hire. You harlot. Those kind of comments, like unhinged people about this. And I really think that this Gabby Hanna clip that's been provided should shut that garbage down. Of course, it doesn't prove 100%, the authenticity of everything. As D'Angelo Wallace also explains, these are still allegations. But that is a pretty substantial piece of evidence there that should at least show why this needs to be talked about and should absolutely be addressed directly by Cody.
People make
Now that it's a big deal, by the way, how old is this? 20 hours. now that this is a big deal, there's probably going to be people who come out at the party and say, oh yeah, I remember that, because it's, I mean, I don't remember all the parties when I was in the age bracket of 15 to 18 or whatever, but I remember some. I remember what the people did, some people did, even now at this point, even though that's like ancient history, honestly, almost. So there's definitely going to be people coming out and saying, oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Accusations all the time, specifically regarding things that are very difficult to prove or disprove, unfortunate as that may be. But when somebody makes an allegation and they say they have a witness, and that witness can be found telling the exact same story years before any of this came out, that's not something I can just ignore. In a situation that cannot be proven, corroboration by a third party goes a long way. I'm not accusing you of committing a crime, but even if what Tana says is false, your silence is still grossly incompetent at best.
It really is a pretty bad strategy here. This isn't something John Madden would draw up in the playbook. Burying his head in the sand and hoping that the storm blows through doesn't exactly work in a situation like this. I mean, I guess it has up till this point, since so few people were aware of it, but now that it's being talked about more and more, I do think that he's going to need to come forward about all of it. There is quite a bit of time in the video dedicated to
He's gonna probably come out and about this. It's crazy. By the way, the world has changed for the better, because again, when this happened those years ago, no one gave an F. No one knew. No one cared. Now suddenly we are caring. That means that we are getting better as a society, and that's good. That's good.
the community's response to the allegations, because it is bad how like viewers have responded to all of this. Basically, and it is a good
You can't expect viewers to respond to this. It's like, okay, there's gonna be the insane people who follow these people. Again, you cannot respect, you cannot expect also for viewers of someone called Cody who does vlogs about crap and has friends like Tana Manga is gonna have an audience of not 10-year-old children who actually care about the actions being performed and the things that should follow because of it. It's just not happening. Anyway, kind of feels like that's it. Maybe there's... Oh, let's check this. What is
Comparing
this?
that to the comment section on your Instagram, where every single comment I saw was about this, it's clear that you're heavily censoring your audience on YouTube.
Well, of course he's gonna censor everything. Again, if he just decided to go dark, he's trying to see if this is gonna blow all over. It's gonna be the expected playbook. He's gonna keep silence. He's gonna say, I contacted my lawyers. I did a third-party independent investigation. And by the way, third-party independent investigation is all complete bullshit, as we all know. We have seen already a lot of them. You buying a company of lawyers to look into you yourself and try to find a way to pronounce you not guilty, it's not exactly third-party greatness, okay? It's just an act, and people need to learn about this crap. Anyway, yeah, at some point he's gonna do an apology or something like that, and that's gonna be the end of this. Maybe his career is destroyed, who honestly knows? Anyway, it is what it is. But also, at the same time, dude, while the guy 100% needs to be held accountable for what he did, what about Tana Mongu? What about her? She was 17. She definitely knew that that guy was above age. Why did she just do it? Should there not be any accountability for women who intentionally are okay with this? I mean, she's a willing participant in this, most likely. So, there you kind of go. Insane. Anyway, we're just gonna have to wait and see how this ends. That was Charlie, and that was Angelo Vallis. D'Angelo, I'm sorry. And Angelo D, I wanted to say, because that would be kind of cool. Anyway, bye-bye.